You know that feeling, that friction you get with the world? It's like you're constantly pushing back against, well, everything. People, situations, maybe even your own thoughts. Well, today we're going to dig into a really fundamental concept from the ancient Pali texts that gets right to the heart of that struggle. We're talking about dosa.
So, let's start with a really big question. What if all that turmoil, all the frustration and negativity we feel could actually be traced back to just three things? Three fundamental roots in our own minds. We're going to find out exactly what those are and why one of them in particular, dosa, is just so incredibly powerful.
Okay, so first things first, let's get a really clear handle on our main topic here. What exactly is dosa?
All right, so in Pali, the word is doso or dosa. And yeah, you'll often see it translated as hatred or ill will, but honestly, that doesn't quite capture the whole picture. It's so much broader than that. A better way to think about it is aversion. It's any mental state that pushes away, that resists, that just rejects what's happening. It's the mind's fundamental no. It's really the main source of all that friction we feel between ourselves and the world.
And what's so fascinating here is that dosa isn't just one simple feeling. No way. The texts, like the Kalahavivada Sutta Nindasa, they lay out this whole spectrum. It's amazing. It can be something really subtle, like apacheo, that quiet little feeling of displeasure or resentment bubbling under the surface, or it can be full-blown intense kopo. We're talking fierce anger, pure wrath. It also includes stuff like byapada, which is actually wishing harm on someone, and padiham, that deep gut-level feeling of resistance. It's really the whole family of pushing things away.
All right, to really get why dosa is such a big deal, we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. See, it's not just some random negative emotion. It's actually one of three foundational problems of the mind.
So the Saṃyutta Sutta talks about this concept called the akusala mūlāni. It literally means the unwholesome roots. And that metaphor is just perfect, isn't it? Think about it. Just like the root of a tree feeds everything that grows from it, the trunk, the branches, the leaves, these three roots are the source of all the unskillful, harmful stuff. Our thoughts, our words, our actions. It all springs from here.
And here they are, the big three. First up, you've got lobha. This is greed, attachment. It's the part of the mind that's always clinging and grasping. Then there's dosa, our focus for today. This is aversion, hatred, the mind that's always pushing away. And rounding out the trio is moha. This is delusion, or ignorance, the mind that just isn't seeing things as they really are. These three, right here, they're basically the source code for suffering.
Okay, so we know what dosa is, and we know it's one of the big three roots. But what does it actually do? What's the damage? Well, let's take a look at the consequences, because the texts are, well, they're pretty blunt about it.
Just listen to this line from the Dhammapada. It's so powerful. There is no evil like hatred. Wow. And the Pali word for evil here, kali, it means something like misfortune or demerit. So this isn't just saying, hey, hatred is bad. It's saying it's a uniquely destructive force. It's in a category all by itself.
And this quote, this one just nails the internal versus external damage. The first part, anathachano doso, dosa brings ruin. That's about the harm it causes out in the world. But check out the second part, doso sita pakopano. That means it agitates, it shakes up, it totally disturbs the mind itself. So think about that. Before dosa ever hurts anyone else, it's poisoning your own peace from the inside. And it's not a one-off thing either. It builds into this whole chain reaction, something you see described in texts like the Pradhucita Sutta. It's like a domino effect. As you can see, it all starts in the mind. Aversion pops up, and suddenly our judgment gets all cloudy. And from that polluted state of mind, what happens next? Unskillful actions. They just naturally flow out. Harsh words, harmful deeds. And the end of that chain? The inevitable result is suffering, for us and for everyone else.
Okay, so that's the problem. And it's a big one, right? It's powerful, it's destructive, and it's rooted deep inside the mind. But, and this is a huge but, for every single one of those unwholesome roots, the texts give us a wholesome counterpart. So let's turn things around and look at the solution.
It's a perfect mirror image. Just like there are three unwholesome roots, there are three wholesome ones. So the antidote for lobha, for greed, that's alobha, generosity. The antidote for moha, for delusion, that's amoha, wisdom. And the direct powerful antidote for dosa, for aversion, that's adosa, goodwill or non-aversion.
Now this is absolutely crucial to understand. Anosa isn't a passive thing. It's not just about not hating. It's an active, conscious practice. It's about intentionally cultivating the exact opposite: goodwill, friendship, what's known as metta, or loving kindness. You're not just ignoring the bad root, you're actively watering a different, healthier one.
So, we've kind of gone on a whole journey here, right? From figuring out the problem of aversion all the way to understanding its wholesome antidote. So the big question is, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we live beyond the grasp of dosa?
This quote from the Kakakupamasatta is basically a user's manual for this whole thing. It's a personal resolution. It's saying, even when things are tough, even when I'm being provoked, my mind will not be altered. Instead of just reacting with that flash of aversion, the response is a conscious one, to abide full of loving kindness, with a mind free from aversion. It's about making a choice, right then and there, to cultivate adosa when everything in you wants to default to dosa.
And that really brings us full circle, because every single moment we have a choice, don't we? We can keep feeding those roots of aversion, greed, and delusion, or we can choose to nourish their wholesome opposites. So I'll leave you with a very personal question to think about. Which root are you watering today?